Right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all the way from where are you currently located right now?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm right here in our facility at Calamba, Laguna, Philippines, Region 4, Calamba, Laguna.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Please provide just a little bit of introduction about yourself, your name, your position, your current position, please.
Yes, good afternoon again, Mark. I am Julieta Austria. I am the president of our company, the Blue Mackay Food Manufacturing Company. I'm also the vice president of the Philippine Association of Food Technologists. I have to tell that because it's an invitation coming from this organization. And Blue Mackay is a trading firm. It's a B2B business company where we supply food spices, liquid products like sauces, and we also do these tolling services for most of the smaller than Blue Mackay manufacturers. So that is our company.
That is quite an extensive current responsibilities that you have. So how did you become where you are right now in the current position? Give us a bit of history where you came from where you and how you had the interest in this industry, and how you grew as a person within this industry.
It was a very long and winding journey and story. I don't know how I was able to be in this. How I was able, but I think I'll be sharing with you, Mark, how I was able to be able to put up the business that I am into. So I remembered when I was a student, I really wanted to be in the manufacturing industry. So I wasn't an engineer, but I was able to get a degree of BS Food Technology. And when I started to have my exposure and learning, I thought it has to be in the research and more on the manufacturing. So I was more oriented on that end. And then I've been a junior researcher for many areas of food industry, like the snacks, the beverages, the what you call this, the sauces and the confectionery. So those were my initial exposure, and I get to have some training from each of those. But then after a while, you get to to go for something beyond that is just in the four walls of the laboratory. And I had to dabble into the sales and marketing after a while in the mid of my career journey. And then that was the time when things were open to me on the business side of it. And the next that I know, I was able to be in the business. I was able to put up the business, Blue Mackay Food Company, 1995. So I remembered it so well because it was 1995, and today it's 25 years ago. And every time I look back, and I thought, oh my God, it's already 25 years. And I thought, I'm just starting like it's 3 or 5 years. And I never realized it's been 25. And I'm always asking myself, oh, where am I now? Am I really living the dreams or the visions that I had when I was starting? Well, I think so too. I think so because I believe I can impact more and I can impact more of some people and can be inspired, and they are inspired somehow when they get to learn my story. As if there's really a story, but of course the story to tell is as you said, the story to tell is another thing. But what I can tell about Blue Mackay and how I joined it into this is I there was so much focus and hard work at that time when I was starting. So I thought it has to be you yourself, and your determination and your focus and your passion to really be able to do one step at a time, the things that you have to do. So you are so focused, sometimes you tend to forget other people to ask. And that's why when there was a question like, how do you feel if you are successful, or when do you feel that you are successful? You will never feel that, but I think you will feel that you are successful when you become more open and you can ask more help from more people, because now you are not afraid anymore, because at first you're so scared to ask people for help because they might going to turn you down and things like that. But when you progress and when you look back, I think it's really the people, your colleagues, the people in the business, in the industry, who would be able to help you, be able to guide you better, to make you bigger, to make you more to expand and to innovate. So that's, I think, is when I felt that success is really there in the right direction.
So what I got from there is be true to yourself. Don't afraid to ask question. And my question is, do you find yourself, like let's say in a group settings, in a meeting, do you find yourself going along with or agreeing with the conversation, or do you find yourself asking question, or do you have your own opinion? Which ones do you have more?
Me, in a group setting, wait. I tend to be more of a listener and absorbing everything. Should there be something that I really don't understand, that's the only time I will ask question or make clarification. And there are times that I will just get in my opinion, but it's not as often that I have to butt in my opinion. So I don't know what I am with that. So it's more of listening and absorbing the knowledge, and just immersing all, especially if you are in the group of the experts and those who are really be able to make impact to you and to the decisions that you are making. Because I believe that we are always journeying towards excellence, towards something that is better, that is bigger. And I just have to close my eyes and listen to those who are there already. And if there's anything that will be true to what I am doing right now, then I go and I follow that and make it my guidance, make it something that would help me in the direction.
I find there's a common theme among strong women where, and actually among strong individuals actually, to have their existence be more about themselves, beyond their selfish self, to look beyond their own, to look beyond their own benefits, whether it's for the industry, for the environment, for God, for religious reasons. Where do you find your strength?
I agree with that statement, Mark, actually, that in the beginning of the journey, it's all about you. It's all about me having to finish this, me having to go this, to do this, to be able to finish, to see the vision that I want to go. So it's all about you. That's why you are so confined to where you want to go. Sometimes you almost forget other people around you. So, but is the driving force to get you where you want to be. And I still believe that at first you have to focus to improve yourself, to be yourself. It's maybe selfish at that time, but I thought I've been into that. And then as you grow and you progress, your priorities now becomes different. So it also elevates to a different standard and to a different purpose. So you're now driven to a certain period, to a certain level. Now, when you stretch your back and you look sideways, now you are seeing other people. Now you can realize na it's not you anymore. You are not the center of the universe. You will see other people. Now is the defining time or factor when you can see how can I be someone and somebody to the people around me, and that would start with the family, and then to the co-workers, to the employees that you have, the team that you have. So you now align and set priorities differently, and now you will be asking for some mentor, some guidance. And I thought, and then after that, so you will now elevate again, and then you will now be seeing the environment. Now you wanted to be making an impact to the community, to the bigger one. Before it was just within the confine of your homes, of your surrounding, of your facility maybe, and then you wanted to go out of your fence, and now you're looking to the smaller community, and now you try to impact a little bit bigger. So, but when they say, no matter how small or just a drop of influence you get, still you will create a ripple, and it will start with something of change. You can be a catalyst to whatever is of greater purpose. So the strength that I am looking for is the strength of character and the principle that the people around me can also imbibe and look into. And also in the softer side, I think, is not losing yourself in all of this, and always be anchored on the strength of the one above, who is the greater, who is showering us with all this abundance and opportunity to be different and to make a difference to other people, because not everybody is being given this opportunity.
That's a very, very important response, but also a very important lessons to everyone actually, because we can never be more than ourselves if we only look at ourselves. And of course, that in the presence of experts, in the presence of someone who we may or may not know that they're smarter, but we learn more by listening. But on the other side, there's a saying that if everyone is agreeing in the same meeting, that means someone's not thinking. And that comes to your point on being true to yourself and what you believe in. If you find that someone is disagreeing with you, I believe I can feel this from having listening to you. Of course, that you have to voice your opinion, and of course that in a manner that you have the knowledge to share with them, not to be better than them. So, how do you find yourself contributing to the business that you are right now?
Contributing to the business in the bigger perspective.
Yes.
Okay. Well, one, because in our community, we are one of those. Well, I'd like to think that we are helping a lot in paying the right taxes, being able to generate some job for the local neighborhood. You see, in contributing to the business, it's not just the financials, but it's impacting the lives of the people who works for you, and the environment per se in our rural area, because in the neighborhood it's residential, it's countryside, and there's not much factory that's being built up here. And when they say, oh, the neighbor, I know Juliet, now she has a facility, a business that generate job. And I thought, I always want to hold into that knowing that I was able to give some certain job, and that job is not only just a job, but it's a certain hope for the family that I have in the company, in the business that we are in. So they are my partners actually, because if they are not there, I mean, who else can perform the jobs that the things that we have to do? So the hope is if the business do better, there's hope and a security for this family of my employee to be also hoping and holding to a better future for themselves. So bringing food to their table, having their children go to school. So that for me is also something that gives me strength to really do best in the business that I am in.
The objective of these sessions or this activity that we do from Informa is one, actually this is for myself as well, is for the interviewees' families, interviewees' sons, daughters, and employees to come and look and actually learn something about yourself where they may not see, they may not realize at all. Once they realize that he's someone that actually is my mom, my aunt, you know, they come and look at on the different side of the story that's of the stories of the person that they actually know, and I feel honored and feel proud to be involved in this activity. So let me ask you, let's talk about something a bit more serious. Within the food and beverage industries, from myself having experience in the industry across multiple regions, there are more men in the industry. Do you find yourself, and how do you able to break through that barrier that in some cases men tend to have their own ways of doing things? And I'm not saying that women have better or worse ways. I have experienced myself. My direct supervisors are all women within the 16, 17 years that I've worked with direct supervisors. So I don't see, and actually find benefits, but also advantage in having women within the responsibilities that I do. One side because of the nurturing side. The other side is the understanding side, but also the detail, the attention to details. So my question to you is, do you find yourself, and how do you manage the gender preconception of the industry?
Yeah, I think in the beginning there was that, but I think I'm not paying attention to that gender kind of thing in the workplace or in the Philippines, because as I said, when I was starting, of course, when I started 26, 30 years ago, but before I started the business, I was working from a different companies for almost like 80 years. So I've been working from different industries, and all those times, our boss, always the owners and our immediate supervisors would always be men, but the immediate are the women, like senior food technologists. I'm a junior, so they are all men. And for me, I don't know if I'm not into this gender kind of thing. Maybe I really don't pay attention to that, because I would always say, "Oh my God, my boss doesn't know what he's doing," or the men, the guy boss that I have. Maybe I was just thinking that, and maybe they locked into some refinement or in the kind of decision making that they dispense. And somehow I saw the strength in doing things I thought would be best if it's done this way, I mean my way. So, and that with me has been like, it should be better if I do it this way. But that's also in my mind, because I have no influence or no strength whatever on that time when I was building up myself. So when I tried to do the business that I've been, at first it was difficult when I was doing already the business, when I was starting, and I will be out there representing Blue McKay already, the company. So no one knows you. You're small. You are a woman. But what makes it different to those that I've been talking to is I am more technical. So I'm a food technologist. I have something for them. I have something that they need, that my company, that my ability has. No, so let's say I'll be talking to an owner. He's not technical. There's something wrong with his product, and I know I can help him with how things can be done with this product at minimal cost or no cost, or just this and that, whatever resources that he has. And that's I think my leverage, that they now look at me on a different note, that okay, she is different. So there must be something that you bring into the table, something like technical experience, something that intellectual things that that they may want to to see you on another perspective, so to speak.
That is a very very important thing. Like myself, I don't see gender role being different much inside of Philippines. I saw some
Yeah.
inside Thailand and other industries in different regions, and that's a good way. And that's also comes to the demographic and the location of where you are, and within the circle of the people that you're with. So, what is the future of Philippines food and beverage?
Oh my God! I think in the Philippines, I think we are just portrayed as very very backward, or not so not um, not holding the bull in its eye. But I think a lot of development and potentials in doing business in the Philippines is so great. We have so many resources to look into, the natural, agricultural, fish, marine, and everything. We are very, very abundant in all of those natural resources. So the potential of just being great for the Philippines beverage and food industry is very high. The potential is there. It's just that sometimes maybe the businessmen or the businesses are not thinking to innovate further and farther. Maybe they just wanted to copy whatever is out there outside of the Philippines. But I think if we just focus, the government or all the agencies would be able to see and be more inclusive and see where we can bring our natural resources. I think we will be on a better or in or a different footing. You see in Thailand, my God, they are so, we can so admire their resilience in doing the product developments, in doing all of those new innovations. You are so good. And these are something that we always admire, and we wanted to go, and how can we do that? And I thought that should start with the professionals, those especially in the food tech, because that's in our organization, to help these scientists to be more active in producing, thinking, developing, innovating the natural things that we already have here in the Philippines. Parang we should be more of doing the locally sourcing, locally doing, and then bringing it out to the world. So the prospect is always as high. Now it's just the doer that is maybe I don't know if it is not we don't have the timeline, or we don't have the model on this, but we are learned, and we are people with so much great minds here in the government and in the private industries. But somehow I feel that we are very slow, and but that's my sentiments, you know. Maybe in the other field they are very fast, but I mean, that's one of the frustrations because if you're in the research and if you are in the food industry, you will say, oh, everything that I see on the shelves or that can be done here, these are all imported and these are all done outside. But of course, it's an open world. It should always be there. But we can also be at par with them. We can also put ours because so that the consumers will also have choices. If they are made in Thailand, they are also made in the Philippines, so they have choices. So, but we must be contributing more in this food and beverage. The potential is very big, actually, if I may say.
So I would agree, and I see the support from the government side, from DTI, Go Local, Shared Service Facility, and
Yeah.
OTOP, and so many resources being put to help out the SMEs, and I also believe, and that's on the supply side, right? Because even though MSMEs are able to come up with a good products, and but on the demand side, there has to be some shift, some educational process that, hey, Philippines product actually as good or sometimes as better, or is good or better for the Philippines than the product from Thailand, for example. So that is something that um, a lot of business owners and brand owners, MSME and SMEs, we have to educate themselves, shift their mindset, and create the value in their products in order to bring a business to within the community, but also to the country, and also even to export to around the world, to the bigger sense. And so, how and what would you like to tell the SMEs and MSME today? If you have a one message to them, whether it's word of advice, whether comments, whether anything at all, in order to help them be better or be bigger and than what they have been and what they are, what would you like to tell them?
Hmm. I have so many things to tell, actually, because one, I am part of an SME group as well, because we are a small medium enterprise. And I think what would differentiate one SME from another is really putting their business, and aside from putting their mindset on a better footing, is not just on the business or the finance side of it, because that could be something, if you do not want to grow because you already have your clientele, that's all you want to do because that's already a sure kind of money or sure kind of business. But sometimes we have to lose a little. You have to remove something in order for a new one to get in, and that is, uh, we need also to share, and to get bigger. We also have to collaborate with someone who is better than us, someone who can make our facility better, make it a little bit bigger. We have to take advantage of all the information about making your facility, your company to be certified by different bodies so that you will be able to export. You see, before me, I do not have in my mind any qualms of doing business outside of the Philippines, much more doing. I mean outside of Manila, so it means nationwide, much more doing outside. My God, it's far-fetched in my mind because I was focused to just stay in the business. But as you tend to go into another level of doing business and being in the business, you tend to go and see where you can expand more, where you can make your wings flutter higher, or do more. So now even I, not looking into the export business, is readying myself into doing the business in the next 2-3 years. And I thought having an open mind into to really dealing and uh, taking all the information and also all the learnings from the outside is really no, it's really something that one must take. Because if an entrepreneur sometimes when they were able to get the business, put up the business, it stops there because I just wanted to not grow bigger because I was going to share it with my whatever I have here. I cannot share it with others, something like that. If that's the mindset, that's why the mind setting is another thing, so that and improving. Because when I had my facility be certified from GMP to HACCP to FSSC, my God, it's not for the faint of heart, Mark. My God, everything has to be put out in the open, and it's so meticulous, ridiculous, and it's so tedious, everything. And I thought, my God, I don't like to do it anymore for one time. And then I have to mind and to to remind myself to refocus and to relearn things again. If not, there's nothing I can go further. So I also want that, and I want that also to be shared by other SMEs. And most, well, at this time with all this technology of learning in the webinar, I think most are. But of course, we can always be guidance to others who may not be able to embrace the changes that is to come. It's sometimes very scary also to be so open, and everybody is looking at you and poking into all those informations that you have, saying you should do this, you should do that, and sometimes you want to give up and say, oh my God, let's just close it and forget about it. But if you really wanted to stay relevant, and me as well, I wanted to journey to the next 25 years, then I have to ready myself. I have to really embrace all those changes. If not, I don't like to be out there and be left alone in the cold, something like that.
Yeah, so the standards are very important, right? And we see this, and I understand that it's quite an excruciating process that every business will have to go through, but um, you have to begin somewhere. And they say that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. And once you
Yes.
know how what GMP is, which what hazard is, what ISO, what GSP is, and the next time around, it's going to be easier. And then if you're able to explain to you, share your experience on, hey, what to look for. We're not supposed to have a cup inside of the toilet, for example, the restroom, for example. And that could be
Right.
something that is a learning experience, but also could be a teaching lesson for anyone who follows your footsteps in the future. So speaking of work, do you have actually for professional and personal life, do you have a philosophy that you go by?
The philosophy that I go by, well, that's one thing that one of my mentors was always telling me: if you have a vision and mission for your company, you must also have as well for yourself. And I think so too. If we have, there must just be a balance between work and family. I think um, the philosophy is, I think family for me would always be something that would sustain me to go further. Um, so if we have checklist for the work, I think we also have checklist for ourselves, like having, am I balanced, and is my heart and is my brain and heart really just on its balancing? Maybe because I may be working too much. Am I having some nice things with the family, nice dinner, have coffee with friends? and doing some exercise or activities for oneself to be fit and be strong, to gain strength for the next journey. So it's just simple of it's just simply like for me, life is beautiful when you share it with family. So, and for me in this case, aside from the family, the core family that I have is the people that I work with in my company. I think we just have to care for one another. So that's the philosophy I think I would be able to live by.
Care for one another and work-life balance and family.
Right.
Those are good words of advice. So if you could tell, so right now we're in the period where we have a lot of people struggling, regardless of their um, gender. But I would like you to speak to the women out there who are struggling right now, whether they are in a difficult time, is one side, but also give some inspiration, word of advice, of courage for them to do something bigger than what they are. Please, what would you like to tell them?
Oh, yes, of course. It's just like I'm talking to myself when I was younger. So, to the young women, I think it's just important that you must be a lifelong learner, continue to learn, continue to acquire knowledge for yourself to make yourself better, always at any given time, to make yourself always equipped with the skills and the knowledge that you want to be so that when you get out of the box of your comfort zone, you will be able to see the vision that you have. So you see the vision, but you must focus on it and you must go there. So you just have to trust yourself. So that's my message to them. Just be where you are and just be strong and trust yourselves. So go for it, girl.
That's very good, Juliet. So I'll have this opportunity for you to tell about your products, about your companies. So please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So since it's a business to business arrangement, engagement with the food manufacturing, we don't really have products that is really on the retail. But since we were also affected during the pandemic time, we also have to shift and to innovate and to diversify during the last year into doing and to doubling into the retail business. So we have some products, we put brand on it, like our 3-in-1 coffee, chocolate drinks, milk, and also the marmalade tea. So we put brand on it. So because we manufacture and we process it into big bulk. We deliver 25 kilos, 1 kilo minimum to 25 kilos. So this time we did the retail. We made nice packaging. So I think I had sent some products there. And I thought they may want to try our products like the spices and the seasonings. It's also in small bottles. They can buy it at Shopee, not yet in Lazada, Shopee, and also from our store in our facility in Calamba, Laguna. And this is one innovation actually, Mark, that we are trying to really focus since last year. So this year and to the next, to be able to be into the business to consumer engagement. And I hope we would be able to do this kind of retail thing because it's also messy down there in the retail business. So it's in small packages, but you have to have an impact. My God, how can I make impact on a small one? If it is in the big pack, I thought it's very easy to do. But this one is also a challenge for us. So there you can see us also in our in Instagram and Facebook, the Blue Mackay products. So we also do tolling services actually for most of the manufacturers and for those of smaller SMEs than Lumaki, because we have our facility in Canlubang, Calamba, Laguna, that has the retort facility. We have the processing for meat products, frozen, and also the dry and wet blending facility. So those are available actually. So thank you very much for that.
Well, I have to thank you for joining us today, Juliet. It was enlightening experience for myself, and I hope it's enlightening for a lot of people out there, men, women, whatever your gender is. Right, Juliet, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you more in the future.
Yes, thank you so much, Mark, and thank you for all the invitation, for the invites for our organization, and for me personally. It's the first time to be out here and be interviewed by someone like you. Thank you for telling me the story.
All right, thank you. You have a good
Okay.
evening.
All right. Okay, bye. Thank you.